Isometric drawing number 1. Remember, on your isometric paper, it's the triangular graph paper. The words need to be at the bottom, not at the top. We're going to start in this bottom corner here, and we're going to go up 2 1/8. Remember, an eighth is half of a fourth. If this is a fourth, an eighth is half of that. So it's 1 gap, 2 gaps. That is an eighth. So we want to go to 2 1/8. We're going to start at the bottom corner. We're going to measure up 2 1/8, and your measurement ends on a triangle. If you measure in the middle of a triangle, you've done your measurement wrong. Then we're going to go from that spot, we're going to go diagonal up 3 1/2 inches and end at a triangle. If your measurement doesn't end at a triangle, you've made a mistake. There's your starting point. From here is where you're going to draw your picture. Now, on these drawings, the drawings are in decimals, so we're going to go up 1.5 inches. So I'm going to come up 1.5 inches, make my mark. The dots need to be really, really tiny. I don't want to see the dots. You have graph paper, so make sure you follow the line and make your dots real small. And there's my first line. That's the height. Now, the width is going to be the same thing. It's 1.5 in this drawing. So we're going to go diagonal up 1.5, and we end at a triangle. Diagonal 1.5, which is 1 1/2 inches. Draw your line. You don't need any construction lines. That's the width at the top. The width at the bottom is 2 1 or 2.25. So we're going to go diagonal down 2.25. I know it's starting to look really weird. The width at the top is 0.75. That's 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to measure 3/4. Make my dot. Make my line. Make sure you're on the line of the drawing. Diagonal down. The top is, again, if it's 1.5 here, it's going to be 1.5 here. So I take my scale, measure 1.5, make my dot, draw my line, and now you can see that this one is also 0.75. 0.75, 0.75. The height here, if you look at the math, if it's 1 1/2 here, it says it goes down 3/4 here, 0.75. So I go down 3/4 here. If it's down 3/4 here, that means it's down 3/4 here. And that should mean that the distance from here to here is also 1 1/2. And lo and behold, it is. Now I have to go this direction. Well, this one was 2.25. The distance from here to here is 0.75. So our leftover is 1.5 when you subtract the two. So I'm going to go 1.5. And again, if this is 1.5 and this is 0.75, what's left over is 0.75, and there it is right there. Once again, the width here is 1.5. So that means that the width here is 1.5. And I can do the same thing here at 1.5. If I draw those two lines, Wow, it's really starting to take shape now. The distance from here to here, 1.5, because it was 1.5 over here, and that's a square. The height here, 0.75. And there's drawing number 1. Remember, you need your name in the corner. Those are going to be quarter, 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 1/4, 1/2, 3/4. Slide over a little bit and do it again. 1/4, 1/2, 3/4. They need to be 3 inches long. There's 3 inches. Draw your lines. Again, first name, oops, all caps. Last name, period. Question mark, I don't know which period you're in, and drawing number. And this is drawing number ISO-1. And now you've finished drawing number 1 for ISO.